Hello everyone. Uh, Day 10 for me today. Day 10 off the weed. Starting to get my appetite back. Uh, yeah, weren't getting bored of the melon. I quite like melon now. Um, but I went to go and buy pizza last night, and I didn't want to smell it being cooked or nothing. I still can't stand the smell of hot food, or cooking food. But excuse me. Um, yeah, went to go and buy pizza, and the pizza oven was broke, so didn't end up getting a pizza. I ended up buying a big bit of cod and batter in chips. Cod in batter, fucking um, cod in batter with chips. Uh, Traditional English dinner, really, which was quite nice. I ate all the cod and some of the chips, but I got halfway through it and I was like starting to feel sick. But at least I got it down me, and yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to eat today. Still, the thought of food isn't all that great, but I'm actually starting to like it a little bit more, which is can only be a good thing. So yeah. Um, I'm just checking my notes. Sorry. Yeah. Well, yesterday when I filmed yesterday, I had 52 subscribers, and just as I left now, I've got 93, which is just like more than awesome. It's just spectacular. Um, I can't thank you enough for that. And I've got 3 new members that have come and joined my Discord and come and join the community. And some of the new members have been sharing their experiences with cannabis and how long they've been off of it. And yeah, that's brilliant. I really appreciate that. That's the more people that share their experiences, or it's empowering for me. And as I said the other day, it's another weapon in my armory to go forward. So yeah, today's my first few steps forward on that path that I got both my feet on yesterday, taking the first few steps forward. Today's day 10. I normally run about day 10 to day 14. I start to drop off with any project that I've had or any interest that I've had. Around about day 10, I'm like, well, I'm not getting much from this now. So I'm a bit wary of that, and it's like a bit of a dangerous time between day 10 and 14. It's like my brain starts to wander, but I'm going to keep at it. Like, all your comments and all your support is just like, yeah, it's magnificent and it's keeping me going. So I can't thank you enough for that. So thanks. Um, so yeah, I've had 2 cups of coffee today, so I'm quite wide awake. I've had past 2 days on caffeine. I only have 2 cups maximum in a day, and I'll have probably another 2 days where I'm off it, or 3 days, and then I'll go back on it again. I'll just like regulate it. I've been finding out through people that are commenting on my videos and through Discord that people are sort of like weaning themselves off of caffeine at the moment. And yeah, some people that I've been speaking to, have, like they're sort of like withdrawing from energy drinks. They've got an addiction to energy drinks, and one of them's actually got an addiction to energy drinks and pornography, which is like, that's the first I've ever heard of that. I mean, I've sort of like had momentary addictions with pornography, and so I can understand that one. But energy drinks as well. I've drunk 2 energy drinks in my life, and the second one I drank, I threw away, and I threw my guts up. It's just like energy drinks. Like when I smell people drinking any energy drinks like Monsters or Red Bull, it just reminds me of like during the summer holidays, when kids are off on the summer holidays and they're all excited and they've been running around all day doing whatever, and drinking loads of juice, eating loads of sweets, and then they get that excited about something that they just start throwing up everywhere. That's what energy drinks remind me of, is the smell of excited children sick. So I suppose it's a good thing for me. I just repulsed by it. And if you are struggling with that, I feel for you. But yeah, it's like having given up cannabis and like looking into it, it's the first time I've come across it. So yeah, quite quite a strange one, that. Well, different, not strange, different, that's all. So yeah, caffeine's quite a nasty one, really. Um, yeah, like the process that I drink proper coffee, like proper ground coffee, and I drink it black. I can't drink milk with it. Milk's like, I just can't get my head past it. Comes out of cow's tits, and yeah, that sort of like repels me from it. Like butter, cream, all the dairy products. It's just like really. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant. I just can't stand it. It's just disgusting. Cheese, butter, fucking cream, and oh, 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 just can't do it, guys. Anyway, yeah. So just cover coffee. Yeah. So I'm going to turn the page now. All right. So yeah, a few people have mentioned meditation. That's helped them get off of cannabis, or it helps them with their everyday life, or it helps them get a grip of what they're doing. And there's a mozzie there. Yeah, helps with their daily life, and gives them wholesomeness, I suppose, and clarity. And yeah, I've tried meditation various times, and I think I do actually meditate anyway. But because I'm attention deficit, um, my brain sort of like starts wandering after a little while, and it sort of like pulls me out of that state of being tranquil and at one with myself. My brain starts like looking elsewhere. Uh, so I can relax. I can relax without substances, but my brain don't let me sometimes. Not unless there's dopamine involved. Um, I've just got to get rid of that. Fuck it. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, meditation. Sorry, I'm keep looking down, but yeah, like the brain's a really strange thing with the dopamine reward system, and how it rewards you with things. And I can't, like I say, I can't get my head around it. But the brain in itself, like sometimes I think it's like the brain is like the brain and the stem. It's like an animal within us, and like all this physical stuff, matter on the outside, is just a vessel to go around and keep the brain alive. And it's really the brain that's the animal, and us is just the vehicle to keep it feeding, really. Like not like a parasite, but sort of like is. The brain and the stem is the actual animal, and all this isn't the animal. It's just a vehicle to keep the brain alive. Bit of a weird thought, but yeah, now and again I think about that. And um, David Lynch, a film director, producer, who makes some really strange films, um, he made a film called Eraserhead, and he sort of like highlights that in his film. Throughout the film, you'll see floating brains with a stem just floating around, and that's his characterized. Well, it's him characterizing humans and what they are. Um, you've got to go and watch it. It's one of the strangest. It's more stranger than any dream you've ever dreamt. Um, it's amazing. David Lynch makes some amazing films. Not all weird strangeness. Some of them are like really moving and really like heartfelt films. But anyway, so yeah. So I've got to David Lynch. Right. So yeah. Right. So yeah, right. I don't know how long I am into filming this at the moment, because like I didn't bother timing it today. I didn't want to be bound by, oh, it's got to 20 minutes. I better fucking shut up now and leave it for tomorrow. So I've sort of touched in on. I've checked in on 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 how I'm doing, and my progression on my withdrawal at the moment on day 10, and how things are. progressing in myself, I'm starting to notice a bit more clarity in my mind. Like when people approach me and ask me a question, I've got an answer straight away, and I've got it out of my mouth before my attention deficit brain starts throwing other things into the mix. Like, yeah, but, well, I'm not going to go into it, but, you know, I start thinking weird stuff because my brain's going elsewhere. You know, even when I'm talking to people, I start like looking at them, and I'll start looking, I've looked into one of their eyes, and then I'm looking into the other eye while they're talking to me, and I'll get transfixed on that. Is it transfixed? Oh no, not transfixed. Fixated on the fact that I'm looking in one of their eyes, and then my brain will be going, he knows that you're looking in his right eye. Start looking in both of his eyes, and I'll just look over to the left eye, and my brain will be going, now you're looking in his left eye, you should look back to his right eye, or look into the middle of his eyes, or her eyes. And it's like that bombards me the whole time. So having that sharpness and having that fog lifting is enabling me to like have my pure thoughts come straight out without any neurodiversity chucking stuff in the way. And that can be quite problematic sometimes, especially when someone's trying to tell you instructions, and you're like, right, okay, and then you start thinking about, he's got a bit of shit on his nose, or fucking hell, what's that bit of fucking, he's got some Weetabix on the side of his mouth. Anyway, I normally tell people if they've got shit on their face, I'll say, you've got shit on your face, mate. It'll be the first thing I talk to them about. I can't talk to them whilst they've got something on their face, like a bogey on their nose, or a bit of shit hanging out their mouth. Or whatever, a bit of sleep in their eye, or some fucking bones in their fucking hair. But anyway, so yeah, that's me checking in on my progress, on how I'm doing. So I'm going to do a bit of continuation from yesterday. So I got to the end of my training, the end of my army training, and we all, well, not all of us, because like some people that started the training didn't finish because they either paid themselves to get out, or they were medically discharged, or they were naughty boys and they got kicked out. So yeah, there was about 2/3 of us left at the end of our year's training. Anyway, so our passing out parade, which was one of the best days of my life, apart from my daughter being born. That's the pinnacle of my whole life, is the day that I see my daughter. But yeah, amazing. So nothing could beat that. Not all the drugs on this planet that I've ever taken, all the happiest moments that I've ever had will ever come fucking marginally close to just my daughter being on this planet, and how amazing that is to me. Yeah, nothing comes close to it. Nothing on earth comes close to that. So yeah, I'm really lucky that I've got such a beautiful daughter, and the feelings that she gives me is just like, yeah, better than anything ever combined. So yeah, passing out, that's what we call it. When we pass out on our parade, we've finished our training, and we go and move on to our battalion and go and do our continuation training. And so when I did actually pass out and we did our parade, we got a few weeks off, and and I remember going home and like celebrating, drinks all around, Jack Daniels all around, and that's when I first ever bought my first bag of weed. And I think I said to you the other day what the weed's like. It was like monkey bedding. And I'm just going to check the film, right, guys, because I've also got to turn the light out because it's getting dark now. The sun's going down, all right? Oh, fuck. No, we're all right, I think. Yeah, cool. Calm down, tone. Anyway, so yeah, first time I ever bought a bag of weed, and bought a big bag of weed because I was celebrating. I'd just done 8 years of training and accomplished a goal that I didn't really think I'd be able to do, because I didn't really think I was man enough to do it, but I obviously am. So yeah, monkey bedding, Colombian weed it was, like stem seeds, male and female flowers, and yeah, got a really good buzz from that. Got a proper giggle on. We all got a good giggle on. We're still buying the Rocky or the soap bar, as I was reminded yesterday by someone. We used to call it soap bar. But yeah, the weed back then was like quite weak in THC levels, like 3% to 5%, which is quite a weak level of THC, considering like some of the skunks on the street nowadays are like 30% THC plus, which is really strong. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, so yeah, we passed out. I came off leave and went and joined my battalion, the 2nd Battalion Grenadier Guards, and got shipped off to Salisbury, a place called Salisbury, and that's down near Stonehenge in England, and met up with our battalion and like all the old soldiers and all the old sweats that have been in there a long time, and yeah, started integrating myself and started becoming a member of that family. Found out straight away that probably about 60% of them were all tokers, all smokers. So went and met up with them, and they were doing training for getting ready to go into Canada. And so after 4 weeks of passing out and doing 4 weeks of mortar training, we went to Canada for like 6 weeks. We went to Calgary. Amazing country, absolutely beautiful country, lovely people, but yeah, amazing country. We spent most of our time away from like built up areas. We was out in the sticks, out in like, it wasn't desert, but it was like it, but there was woodland around, and like a lot of the ground was just sand and evergreen trees. And yeah, was none of us had any dope out there. We didn't have any dope. None of us took it out there, and so we was just drinking. And I mean, most of the time we was like on exercise anyway, you know, training for battle conditions, and you know, training the mortar platoon and getting it, you know, pin sharp to be called into battle at any moment. And anyway, so we didn't have much integration with like the civilians out there until we went on to rest. Actually, I've got to tell you one thing before we went on to rest and recuperation. The night before we went on to rest and recuperation, we were all sitting around a fire, all having a drink. Chappie's playing his guitar, and we're all having a sing song and that. And at the time, we had a person from the Army Air Corps with us, and the Army Air Corps predominantly fly helicopters. And at the time, we had a helicopter attachment with us because our commanding officer and our platoon commander were doing helicopter OPs, which is like we'd be on a mortar line firing mortars onto a target, whilst all the battalion and all the fodder, like the fodder companies we used to call them, the main companies would be going attacking the target on foot, and we're like perhaps like 500 to 1500 meters back, firing mortars to give them covering fire whilst they advance on the target, or giving them illumination in the sky whilst they advance on the target, or smoke screens. And we had this helicopter with us anyway, and we got on the radio, like with these big field radios that we had, we could go and patch into their main communications centre in Canada. I forget the place. Over in England it's called Portishead, but over Canada I don't know where it is. We patched into this place where you can use your field radio as a telephone. Right, this was like back in the 1990s. No mobile phones were around then. People were still sticking coins in the phone to use them. And so we got on the radio and we patched ourselves into this place, and we got them to phone up a Domino's Pizza, and nearest Domino's Pizza was 70 miles away. And so what we did, right, was we put an order in for 42 pizzas, and we worked out how long it would take for the helicopter to fly there, which wasn't hardly no time at all really. I think it took in about 34 minutes or 35 minutes to fly there. So we patched in, ordered 42 pizzas, and the helicopter pilot just went and flew, took his helicopter down there, went and fucking picked them up for us and brought them back, and we was all sat around the fire eating fucking pizza, which was amazing. We did go on rest and recuperation, but before that, we went on to adventure training before rest and recuperation, and adventure training was down in Jasper National Park, which is absolutely beautiful. Jasper National Park, and it's sort of like where we was by a place called Athabasca Glacier, and there's a river that come off of that. I forget the river's name now, but one time we went up to the glacier and spent a day like on the glacier, and then in the afternoon we got onto whitewater rafts, like big, like 20 of us in each raft, and there was two of us, two rafts, and big massive rafts, some some geese on the back with a great big fucking thing steering us, and we're all like paddling away, and our objective was to get the other turn the other raft over and get them out of their raft. So we're going down this river from Athabasca Glacier, the cleanest water I've ever experienced in my life. Like, as soon as you get into it, everything's squeaky clean, that clean. Beautiful. I was just like drinking it, and fucking, it was beautiful. But anyway, where am I? Athabasca Glacier. On the Whitewater Rapids, and we were going down like grade 4 rapids, which is quite heavy rapids, quite big chunky buggers. And like Niagara Falls, just for shit, my flies are open. Niagara Falls, just for comparison, is grade 6 rapids. Sorry about that. Incidentally, we did get the other half. We did turn them over, and we actually got down the river before they did, and we pulled over and then waited for them to come down the river. Then we just fucking ambushed them and fucking got them out of the raft and then fucked off. Anyway, the following day, we went back up to the glacier again, but this time we took bikes, push bikes, cycles, and we had 28 of us, and we were drinking at the time, and again we went up to the glacier and had a little look around again, and then we was like, right, we got a bike back to camp. The camp was 80 kilometers away, okay, but it was all downhill. The whole lot was down. You didn't even have to pedal. It's just sit on your bike and fucking go. And that was amazing, man. That was fucking amazing. We were like, yeah, we had a big fucking accident. Like, all of us just ended up in a big mangle, like all pissed up, drunk on our bikes, just fucking had a big accident. And yeah, we all got quite hurt as it goes, like quite cut up and smashed up. But it's probably one of the best accidents I've ever had in my life. Anyway, after that, we went on to R&R, which is rest and recuperation. So we were allowed like a week off, and we went to a place called Edmonton in Canada, into the city, and we were posted up in this hotel, nice hotel, and we were posted up in this hotel, and excuse me, none of us had any dope. So we was all like, I really could do with some smoke, you know, and we were all drinking, and like drink was like dirt cheap out there, and we had a strip joint in the bottom of the hotel, like where the bar was also a strip joint. There were strippers down there, and that lived in the hotel as well. And on the second to last night, it was my 18th birthday, and like big milestone, like it was for me. But got chatting to two of the strippers down there, and was like, can you get any weed? And they were like, yeah, we can. So yeah, on my birthday, excuse me, sorry, on my birthday, on my 18th birthday, this really fit as fuck stripper come and bought me a big tray of shooters of like different shots. I had like 30 shots on this fucking tray, and she was like, you got to drink all them. I was like, I can't drink all them, I'm going to be pissed up and start making a tit of myself, probably sit there pissing myself and not knowing it. That drunk, you know. But I got through some of them and started giving the rest away, and yeah, she was like, do you want to come for a smoke then? And I was like, yeah, okay. So we went back to the room and had a joint, and then went for a swim in a swimming pool in a hotel, and then went back to a room and had another joint. And yeah, that night had a really happy ending, as it goes. It was the best 18th I could have ever asked for. Yeah, just getting smashed to bits by the stripper while a friend was watching. So yeah, I was like, I was like a dog with 5 cocks back then, 18 and just fucking full of hormones, just wanted to put it in anything. So yeah, but that was the second to last night that happened. And then on the last night, them 2 strippers weren't there. There was 2 other strippers that were there, and they'd sort of like, they'd gone off, and these other 2 strippers weren't as friendly as the other 2 were. So yeah, we met this bloke who come into the bar, big white beard, bald head, quite a big tash. He looked like one of the singers out of ZZ Top. And went and approached him. He was like, "Mate, do you know who we could get any smoke from?" And he's like, yeah, come outside and we'll have a smoke. So me and Chappie went outside and went for a smoke with him, and went and sat in his pickup. And me and Chappie are sitting there like sharing a joint, and he gets out and then pulls this fucking rifle out the back of his back of the chair from where we were sitting, back of the seats in the pickup. There's a fucking Mark 1 M16, mate. And like, he's like, "Do you fucking like this?" And it started pointing at us. We were like, yeah, we do like it. I thought we was going to get fucking shot. But it was just like, what a character this bloke was. And he's like, "Do you want to come back to ours?" But to his. And I was like, looked at Chappie and I thought, I don't know about this. And Chappie was like, "Come on, let's fucking do it. YOLO, you only live once." So I was like, yeah, fuck it. So we went back to his, and yeah, we went back to his big massive house in the middle of nowhere, fucking gigantic house. And we went in there, and honestly, I'm not lying, right? He had a dustbin, like dustbin size. It was about that high and about that fucking round, and it was jam packed full of weed. And it was just like, help yourself. And I was just like, it was the biggest bag, or the biggest like container of weed I've ever seen in my life. I just wanted to get in it and fucking just eat my way out of it. It was amazing. So we're sitting there smoking these fucking blunts, and he's like, "Come out to the back garden. I'll show you the back garden." So we went out to the back garden, and he's like, pulled these fucking big doors out, like out of the floor. He's like, go down. And I thought, hang on, we're gonna get fucking killed now, or we're gonna get Pulp Fiction. Is that the film where they get out the gimp? I thought that's what was going to happen, and but it didn't. We were all smoking, and we went down there, and he pulled these 2 doors open, and it was like, I don't know if you've seen the film Commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger film, where he goes into his secret armory. It was like he turned his lights on, and it was wall to wall with all different rifles, guns, fucking all different weapons, and it's just like, what the fuck, man? And he shut the door behind us, and I was like, well, he's going to kill us now. But he didn't. And he was just like, well, obviously he didn't. But anyway, yeah, amazing that was. Anyway, so we left there, and he brought us, but he took us back to the hotel the next morning, because we had to be back on the bus again to go back to camp. And like, give us a big bag of weed, probably more than an ounce of weed each, me and Chappie had. So for the rest of the tour out in Canada, we had weed with us. And we went back and we did another 2 weeks in battle situations, full tactical situation. But we had we were smoking joints, like, so we're going out at night doing these these missions at night time, having these big attacks, and all these fucking pyrotechnics going off, all these massive fucking explosions, and fucking tracers going off, things blowing up, illumination in the air, white phosphorus going off, just like it was like, I suppose it was like America's 4th of July, but like at the same time the Northern Lights were just going mental. It was just like, it was like a scene out of Apocalypse Now. It was amazing, fucking amazing, just chuffing this weed and just like looking at all the sky. It was like the sky was on acid. It was just, there's nothing in Civilian Street that comes close to that. Nothing comes close. Not even the loudest fucking explosions I've ever heard out in civilian history. Comes marginally close to the explosions that we had in the army. And when I went to the Falklands, I'll tell you about that later. That's when we blew some shit up down there, man. Falkland Islands, fucking, we experimented with stuff down there, and yeah, we blew some stuff up down there. I'll tell you that at a later date, guys. I'm just gonna check my notes, make sure I've not missed anything, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Mozzies are out. I've got some Mozzie spray, but it's no. Sorry, I'm looking down. Yeah, met a crazy dude. Yeah, so I think actually, guys, that's it. I've covered it all. So I'll carry on with my continuation of my my experiences that I've had on drugs and marijuana tomorrow. So yeah, it's getting a little bit chilly now. That's yeah, I'm going to go back and. Oh, by the way, just before I forget, someone made a quick clip of of my video. I think it was day 5 where I was angry and nearly relapsed, and I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette, and someone's made a clip of it of me sort of like expressing myself how I'm angry and that, and having a smoke on the cigarette. And when I first watched it, I thought it was a troll. Sort of like just highlighting the fact that I've been smoking and I'm making films about, excuse me, making films about giving up smoking weed. And I thought, is he trying to insinuate that I'm smoking weed here? Which I wasn't. I was smoking tobacco. Excuse me. But yeah, what is clipped? It's like a 14-second clip, and I can't stop watching it on a loop. It's quite fucking funny as it goes, and everyone that I showed it to, like, they've said that's really funny. So yeah, I forget the name of who made that clip, but yeah, thanks for that. It's quite yeah, makes me happy. It made me laugh, man. So thanks for that. I'll put it in the comments below this video. So yeah, so as always, guys, I'll see you tomorrow, and tread lightly and breathe deeply. All right, thank you for watching. See ya. Bye.